Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jack. Today I wanted to present a short and what I hope is a simple tutorial on statistics. So let me know what you think of this and be sure to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching. So what are the odds? Let's talk about them. In most cases when we're talking about odds and statistics, we want to know a couple of things. We want to know how many possible outcomes or combinations it can be of something, and we want to know what are the chances or the odds of a particular situation or outcome occurring. So let's take it simple and talk about flipping a coin. Let's flip a coin one time. There are two possible outcomes or combinations. We can get a heads or tails. Real simple. What are the chances of getting a head? It's 1 out of 2 or 50%. What are the chances of getting a tail? Again, 1 out of 2 or 50%. Each time the coin is flipped, the odds are the same. And this is important to know. It means if you flip a coin 10 times or 100 times and get a head every time or a tail every time, the odds of getting a head on the 101st flip is the same as the first flip. That's 1 out of 2. It doesn't change. The coin or the toss doesn't have any memory of what happened before the latest flip. So it's always 1 out of 2. So that's important to remember. But we can also ask a different question. What are the odds that we get 2 heads in a row, or 5 heads in a row, or 10, or even 100 heads in a row? That's a different question. So what are the odds of that? Well, let's start off with 2 flips. We flip once, we flip again. We can get a head on the first flip, a tail on the second flip. We can get 2 heads on the 2 flips. We could get 2 tails on the 2 flips, or we can get a tail and a head. So we have a total of 4 outcomes or combinations. And what are the chances of getting 2 heads? Well, there's only one combination out of the 4 that gives us 2 heads. So the chances are 1 out of 4, or 25%, we will get 2 heads in a row. Let's look at it another way. The odds of getting a head on the first flip, as we said before, is 1 out of 2, or 1/2, 50%. The odds of getting a head on the second flip is still 1 out of 2, or 1/2, or 50%. So again, the odds of getting 2 heads on both flips is 1/2 times 1/2, or 1/4. You multiply the odds of each one together and you get 1 out of 1/4, or 25%. Okay, so as I mentioned, the odds of getting a single coin toss, 50-50, is 50-50. The odds of continually winning become worse the more times you win. So let's ask a question. What are the odds that Marcus wins by having heads show up 10 times in a row? Well, we just extend the formula again, and it's 1 out of 2 times 1 out of 2 times 1 out of 2, 10 times in a row. And that comes out to be 1 in 1024. So about 1 in 1,000 that he would get heads 10 times in a row. But 20 times in a row, the odds are 1 out of 2 raised to the 20th. So it's again 1/2 times 1/2, 1 times 1/2, 20 times, which is 1 in a million. And by the way, just as another aside, this picture of Marcus Aurelius, the Romans made their coins change every 4 or 5 years as the emperor aged. So they have coins from when he was a teenager up until he was an old man, because they wanted people to still recognize who he was on the coin. Okay, next, what are the odds of getting snake eyes? You have 2 die. The odds of getting a 1 on the first roll is 1 out of 6, or 1/6. What are the odds of getting a 1 on the second roll? It's 1 out of 6 again, or 1/6. The odds of getting 2 1s on both flips is 1/6 times 1/6, or 1/36. Simple. Same as the coins. Just multiply them together. Okay, let's take a little bit more complicated, for an example, a little more complicated example. I have a bicycle lock, and it has 4 cylinders on it. Each cylinder can be from 0 to 9, so it has 10 numbers. and they can be in combination with any of the other three cylinders. So the total possible combinations, extrapolating the formula from before, is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, or 10 to the fourth, which is 10,000 combinations. So the odds of getting all correct numbers in the exact order is 1 out of 10,000. That's pretty simple. Same as the dice and the coins. Okay, this is example number 2. Now this is a little bit more complicated than the previous bicycle lock, because we want to ask the question: what is the odds of getting the correct numbers in any order? This is like the lottery. You can get the numbers in any order because the numbers are taken out once they're chosen. So there's a formula for that. And we start off with what we know. There's 10 numbers. Total possible combinations is 10,000, or 1 in 10,000. But there's a formula that says if you don't care the order they're in, the numbers are in other words, instead of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, you got 4, 3, 2, 1, then you divide it by 4 factorial, which is simply 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So 10,000 divided by 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 10,000 divided by 24, or there's a chance of 1 in 417. Much better odds. Okay, let's talk about another real-world example, Amazon pages. Amazon has links to their pages so customers can find that page again. And there's a link. You notice in almost all products, there's a little square with an arrow. If you click on that link, it gives you the link to that page. So how many combinations are there for Amazon pages? Well, this is a page that I pulled up, and you can see here it has 7 digits. The 7 digits can be either an uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, or a number from 0 to 9. So there's 10 possibilities. So each location or each digit can have 62 possibilities. 26 uppercase, 26 lowercase, and 10 numbers. 62 possibilities. So the total number of combinations is 62 multiplied together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. That comes out to be 3.5 trillion pages. That's a lot of pages. So Amazon has got themselves covered, I think, until they go over 3.5 trillion product pages. What about Powerball? The Powerball example. To win a top prize in Powerball, you need to pick 6 numbers which match the winning numbers. There's 5 numbers that are 1 to 69, and then there's one number, the Powerball number, is 1 through 26. So this should be easy to figure out. 5 numbers. It's 69 times 68 times 67, 66 times 65. Why? Because once you pick out the 69, the first number, there's only 68 numbers left. Once you pick the first 2 numbers, there's only 67 numbers left, and so on. So that's why it's 69 times 68, 67, 66, 65, because there's no number that can be repeated. That comes out to be about, just if you had to pick that, it would have to be 1.348 billion. But the numbers can be in any order. As we mentioned before, it doesn't have to be in the exact order they pull it out. They could pull out 10 first, then 12. But it can be, so as long as you get those 5 numbers, it can be in any order. So again, we divide that 1.348 billion by 5 factorial, which is what the formula says, and that comes out to be 120. So it's 1.348 billion divided by 120, or 11 million combinations. But we're not done. The last number you've got to pick has 26 possibilities. So we multiply that 11 million by 26 for the last digit, and we get 292 million choices or combinations. And right now, as I'm making this, the top prize, I think, is about $800 million. Okay, so how big is that? So if we look at some other odds in the world, getting hit by lightning is 1 in 15,000. Much better than getting hitting the lottery. Yellowstone erupting is 1 in 730,000. Being eaten by a shark is 1 in 3.7 million. Unless you live in like Nebraska or Kansas where there's no oceans, and the odds change to like 1 in 7 million. Being killed by a meteorite, 1 in 700,000. However, if the meteor hits the Earth, the odds are 1 in 1.9 million. Death by vending machine. Believe it or not, there's a few people every year, 4 or 5, I think, people every year that get killed by vending machines. They drop on top of them. I don't know exactly how that happens, but they say it's about an average of 4 Americans a year. So the odds of that are 1 in 112 million. So you can see 292 million is pretty low odds. So that's it for this part. If you like this little tutorial, I tried to make it as simple as I could. I could do a second part that uses this as a basis. This video as a basis. Let me know what you think, and please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. And see you in the next video.